We're going to move on to the Swinton's Snubs of the Pro Bowl. Again, Ash is going to go ahead and take the NFC, and I will take the AFC. So go ahead and start.
I guess the Humphreys kind of segued right into this.
Yeah, true.
I had a few, and I'm going to start, I think, with the most obvious snub was Matthew Stafford. I mean, it doesn't matter because he wouldn't play anyway, but just the fact that he wasn't listed as one or chosen as one, I think was a little ridiculous. I would have taken him over Kyler Murray. Even some of the alternatives they were picking before Matthew Stafford, I was not a fan of.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the other alternatives were picked because, like, they didn't say he was an alternative because he made the Super Bowl. But I imagine he would have made it over the like of Kirk Cousins and.
Well, like Dak made it over him, Hurts made it over him. They're just not. They chose not to play. I know Hurts just had surgery, and Dak is obviously not okay. But Matthew Stafford had third most passing yards and second most touchdowns. So I don't understand how he got in. Didn't get in over Kyler Murray.
Right.
I get the Cardinals were hot at the beginning of the year, but
they definitely fell off.
Nothing to do with Stafford being better than him. The next one I have, which people are going to come for me for, is Zeke over Kamara.
But the numbers say, I mean, if you look at the numbers.
It's the Pro Bowl for this year. If you're looking at overall career, I'm not going to argue with you, but if you're looking at just this year, Zeke has 100 more rushing yards, 7 more touchdowns, 0.5 more yards per carry. If you look at Pollard's numbers are better than Kamara. So tell me why.
Sometimes it's just a popularity contest.
I get Kamara's like the Saints' whole team because they don't have anybody, but still. And it seems like a homer pick, but it's not. The other one is I have Campbell over Bobby Wagner. Campbell made All-Pro, and I'm sorry if you make All-Pro. You should probably be in the Pro Bowl. But I also saw that someone said to move Micah to
a different position.
A different position because he played 500 of them. So outside linebacker and put him over Chandler Jones, take Chandler Jones off, and then put Campbell in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just you can take Bobby Wagner out too. I don't know.
Chandler Jones was another one of the ones like that started hot. He had 5 sacks in that first game, and then really, I mean, if you take away that game, his numbers aren't nearly as promising. I just think
that team was hot, so it had a lot of hot names over there just because of how they started. I have a lot. AJ Terrell over Lattimore. Terrell allowed only 23 catches on 52 targets for 150 yards. 81 of those were after the catch. 2 interceptions, allowed no touchdowns, had 14 pass deflections, which is tied for 4th in the league. I don't know. He balled out. His passer rating is twice as good as Lattimore's. Like, Lattimore has a passer rating that's twice more than what AJ Terrell's was. So, again, AJ Terrell's on a team that's not getting any love, not getting any recognition. So, that's probably why. And Lattimore's kind of a big-name guy, so.
Usually that's the case when it's the Pro Bowl. It's just because it's a fan-voted popularity contest. So, a lot of those guys get snubbed.
Unfortunately, yeah. I have one more.
Okay. Keep going, girl.
This is kind of a homer pick. I have Curse for the Cowboys over Budda Baker. Curse had more QB pressures, more tackles, and more pass deflections. So who's better?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
He is a free agent, and I hope we re-sign him because I will cry. We will be in a world of hurt if we don't have him.
He definitely was help to your defense from last year to this year for sure.
He was probably, I think, the best free agent signing we had this year.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. I mean, that's the only one that I think is a little bit of a homer pick. I agree with Zeke. Zeke had, I mean, more yards per carry, which is, I think, the biggest thing to look at when it comes to running backs, because some running backs don't have as many yards because they don't touch the ball as much as in other offenses and everything. But yards per carry is like your job. That's I think the best way to look at running backs. And Zeke had almost a half a yard more per carry than Kamara. So that
look at Washington trying to be like us again. They just want to be us. I don't understand. We lose in the first round of the playoffs. You don't want to be us. It's depressing.
Payback for Alfred Morris since you guys snatched him up back in the couple years ago.
We're living in the now, Sean.
That's all right. I think Washington's going to command that Curse goes over there, right? Like that's
Stop.
what they do. Okay. All right, just kidding. All right,
I need 56 reasons on why you think you need him on your team.
Sorry, Sean. I apologize for her actions. All right, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the AFC side, give you guys the snubs for them. First, I did want to tackle this question. I saw it in ours the other day, and I wasn't able to get to it. Who do I want as a Steelers quarterback? I think Kenny Pickett is the guy I want. All the reports coming out of the Senior Bowl are that the Steelers are really infatuated with Malik Willis. I just don't think he's going to be there at 20. There's a couple of things I don't want the Steelers to do. I don't want them to trade up, and I don't want them to trade for a veteran like Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. I just think it'll take too much.
Matt Ryan.
Not Matt Ryan either. Too much to get a veteran. I think we got a lot of core key pieces around us that we can build behind, and I don't want to give up the future to get there just to get a quarterback. We need a lot more than just a quarterback right now.
You need Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is the answer.
Not. Anyway, so for the AFC snubs, I only had a couple because, again, it was the AFC is really talented, I think. So there wasn't a lot of people that I would take out to put other people in.
You know what I think, though? There was a lot of people that I thought should have made it, but then you start looking at the list and you're like, but who do you take out to add them?
Yeah, that's definitely kind of what was going on. Desmond Ridder is looking good. I don't think he's a first-round talent. I don't know. We'll see. I think the Steelers released that if Kenny Pickett's there at 20, they're taking him. I don't know how true that is, but those are the leaks right now. Anyway, back to...
We're not talking draft, guys.
Sorry. We didn't mean to do the draft. This is supposed to be a Pro Bowl show. So the snubs for the AFC, I had two quarterbacks that I thought should have made it, especially over Lamar. I didn't think Lamar had a good season. He was hurt for a while. I know everybody's going to hate on me. I'm a Steelers fan, and if anybody has watched any of my shows, they understand that I do not think Lamar is everything that he has been put up to be. But he just going based off this season, which is what the Pro Bowl should be. He didn't have the yards. His team didn't make the playoffs. He was hurt half the season. And two guys that didn't make the playoffs or didn't make the Pro Bowl, Josh Allen, everybody saw what he did. And there's this guy in the Super Bowl, Joe Burrow, who obviously I think should have been in over Lamar as well. I mean, Burrow won Lamar's division. That alone should give you something, especially because it was really Burrow that did a lot of it. I mean, obviously anybody that's watched him knows he's a stud. So those are two big snubs, I thought, in the AFC. And then from there was really only one major one, I thought. And then I'm going to go with my homer pick as well for the Pro Bowl. So I thought Jordan Poyer definitely should have made it over Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann Mathieu's awesome. He did play great this season. But Poyer and the Bills were the number one defense in the NFL, and they had 0 Pro Bowlers on defense. And I just feel like that's a major snub. How do you have the best defense, but nobody makes a Pro Bowl? So Jordan Poyer was one of the best pieces on that. He only allowed 13 catches all season, only gave up 61 yards. He had 5 interceptions and only gave up a passer rating of 15.6. That's so low. It's not as low as Carson Wentz against the Jags, but it's pretty low. So,
oh my God. Wow, we love Carson Wentz slander.
But yeah, I definitely think Jordan Poyer should make it. They only put 1 free safety in the Pro Bowl, which is weird. They do 2 strong safeties and 1 free safety, so there wasn't a lot to choose from. But I just think Poyer should have made it over Tyrann Mathieu, especially because the Chiefs had such a slow start on defense. Their defense didn't turn around till halfway through the season. So I don't know. I'll take the number 1 defense over somebody that just had half a season good.
Tyrann Mathieu is just one of those guys, though. Their name's always in the conversation. So
right.
I think.
And he's a stud. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think he's not good. I just think Poyer deserves to be in the Pro Bowl this year. And then obviously the homer pick is Minkah Fitzpatrick should have been in the Pro Bowl. I don't know how he wasn't. He led the Steelers in tackles.
The Steelers? We're talking about the whole league. But...
Yeah, he had over 100 tackles for the first time in his career. And obviously Minkah is, I mean, he had that huge pass breakup in our last game to beat the Ravens to go to the make the playoffs. He was just, I thought he had a great season all the way around. And that's my homer snub. So you can, I don't care what you think because it's my homer.
Oh, geez. Here he goes with his Ryan Tannehill is a pretty packaged Carson Wentz.
His one used to be a receiver. So the only difference between Carson Wentz and Ryan Tannehill is one used to be a receiver.
Sean feels very strongly about Ryan Tannehill's abilities. He does not think they are good.
Hey, he was the number 1 seed. The starting quarterback for the number 1 seed. Now, I get it. There has been starting quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls before, but that weren't the reason that they won Super Bowls, but still.
Neither of them made the Pro Bowl, so
true. Yeah, rightfully so. I think Sean would agree. That was everything we had for snubs. So we're going to go ahead and move on to